So now that you know who alphas are, you can see them running around in the church. Little tackers rushing from room to room, and then you've got the kids who are in elementary school. They seem to have been born almost with an iPad in their hands. I don't know about you, but if I have a technology issue, I go to my youngest daughter to fix it. And these kids almost seem like they can instinctively know how to operate these pieces of technology. Touchscreens are nothing. They just touch away and explore and experiment with things. They tell us that by the age of 2, kids are able to navigate apps on a touchscreen. They are never going to know anything else but a world of devices and social media. Their jobs in the future will include things like robotics, artificial intelligence, coding, app development, and data analytics. I don't know about you, but I try to read some of that stuff, and I'm just lost when I see it. They're never going to use a rotary phone or even a phone book for that matter. Sending postcards, that's gone by the wayside. Checking maps, paper maps. I remember when we used to travel as a family, we had a whole set of maps that we would unfold as we were moving places. They'll never use them. Dictionaries, encyclopedias. They are best friends with Siri and Alexa. We were in a restaurant the other week, my husband and I, and to our left, you know those kids' menus that they have with crayons? There were 2 little girls there, and they were playing on iPads. Their little activity sheets were pushed to the side, and they were having a blast on their iPads. I know my Gen Z kids, they did not get their devices until they were later on in their teen years, and they used them mostly for school. But today, the kids are completely immersed. There's even an officially recognized source of anxiety called nomophobia, which is the fear of being without your smartphone. I know when I don't have mine, I panic a little, but only because it costs so much. YouTube is their favorite source of information, second only by TikTok and Google, and that's just who they are. A friend of mine recently said, you know, my grandkids are running around all the time. They're on their iPads. What can we do to get rid of that? And I said, well, honestly, you're naive to think that we can remove them. Technology is here to stay. It is who they are. It's in their identity. I got my identity when I was younger from my friends and family. Today, it's largely the internet and social media. And unfortunately, what that does is puts them on an emotional roller coaster, up and down, depending on how the mood goes and how many likes and comments they get. They feel a constant pressure to be checking their messages. They receive and send and read as many as up to 10,000 messages a day on their phones. It's the last thing they see before they go to bed and the first thing they look at when they get up in the mornings. There, of course, along with that comes the detrimental consequences of so much screen time. There's cognitive and psychological issues that are coming from it, physiological from a lack of sleep. You've got social and emotional well-being issues. They're struggling to be able to socialize, even though they've got this artificial socializing going on and this engagement with people, and yet they're the most lonely generation ever. And I ask myself, so what do we do about that in the churches? You know, if we pull out a CD and put it in a CD player or VHS, they're going to roll their eyes at that for sure. Probably even with DVDs soon, they'll be doing the same thing. So it's a balance between how much is too much and what do we do instead. But in terms of technology, wouldn't it be good, do you think, if we were able to use technology and show how to use technology in a healthy way with healthy boundaries in the church? What if the church became the place where we said to the kids, hey, you got a question, let's look it up together, and we pulled out a laptop or a phone and we showed them how to find good resources and good materials on their phones instead of what they would normally come across, teaching them how to determine what is good and what is not, what is wise and what is unwise. The church could be producing worthwhile YouTube videos, since YouTube's their favorite place to go. We could show them how they can download a Bible app and therefore carry the Bible around in their back pocket in any translation that they want, and they can access that at any point in a day. So right now they've got more voices and opinions and belief systems than ever before, right at their fingertips, and they used to listen to those. Now the screaming voices are coming from every different direction, and we need to be able to help them create some healthy boundaries. We can write them off as being technology addicts for sure, and look down upon them and say, oh my gosh, they're so frustrating. Or we can say, you know what, they're going to be the next generation of technology experts. They will know more than we will ever know in fields that have probably not even been invented yet. So in terms of church, I do believe we need to use technology to a degree, but at the same time, we need to balance that with other things, and that's where we'll be going to next. Thanks for listening.
Grace for Kids.